U.S. Tomahawk missiles could change the Ukraine war. The Tomahawk could greatly extend Ukraine's military range and destructive capabilities. Kyiv is reportedly seeking Tomahawk cruise missiles, and the United States is considering the request. Russia, however, is doing everything it can to stop these powerful weapons from entering Ukraine's arsenal, because they could shift the balance of the war.
Tomahawk missiles to Ukraine, or sell them to NATO and let them sell them to Ukraine.
Yeah, I've sort of made a decision, pretty much. If you consider, I think I want to find out what they're doing with them.
Yes.
Where are they sending them? I guess I'd have to ask that question.
Tomahawks for Ukraine. With Ukraine back in the Trump administration's good graces, the possibility of receiving Tomahawk cruise missiles has emerged once again. Russia is working hard to prevent that from happening. Russian President Vladimir Putin continues attempts to deter the U.S. from sending Tomahawk missiles to Ukraine by linking improvements in U.S.-Russian relations to concessions on the war in Ukraine. The Institute for the Study of War, ISW, reported in its latest assessment. Putin warned that any potential transfer of Tomahawks to Ukraine would harm U.S.-Russian relations and the emerging positive trend between the two governments. In a first since Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine, President Trump invited Putin to the United States in August. Despite hopes that the meeting might lead to peace negotiations, nothing substantial came out of the high-level summit. The Kremlin is trying to prevent the United States from providing Tomahawk missiles to Ukraine in order to retain the sanctuary that Russia enjoys in its rear, the ISW added. Tomahawk capabilities. The BGM-109 Tomahawk land attack missile, or TLAM, is a long-range subsonic cruise missile launched from air or sea platforms. It travels at around 550 miles per hour and flies at low altitudes between 100 and 150 feet. To evade radar detection, it can carry various warheads, including a 1,000-pound unitary warhead or a cluster munition payload. Equipping Ukraine with Tomahawks would significantly expand its ability to strike Russian positions and disrupt logistics deep inside enemy territory. According to the ISW, there are at least 1,945 Russian military objects within range of the extended-range Tomahawk variant, and 1,655 within range of the standard version, totaling over 3,600 potential targets. While it's unrealistic to expect the US or NATO to send thousands of missiles, even a limited supply could have a dramatic impact. The extended-range Tomahawk has an unclassified range of just over 1,200 miles, while the standard version can reach targets about 1,030 miles away. A recent example of the Tomahawk's destructive power came in June, when a U.S. Navy guided missile submarine reportedly fired dozens of Tomahawks during Operation Midnight Hammer, targeting an Iranian nuclear facility. while B-2 Spirit stealth bombers dropped 30,000-pound GBU-57 bunker buster bombs on 2 sites. The USS Georgia struck a 3rd facility with Tomahawks from hundreds of miles away. Russian weakness. The Russian military has consistently struggled to defend against Ukraine's long-range precision strikes. When HIMARS rocket systems entered the battlefield in 2022, Russia was forced to pull high-value assets out of range to avoid further losses. Ukraine's use of suicide drones has also inflicted damage deep inside Russian territory, destroying strategic bombers and key infrastructure. However, drones lack the raw destructive power needed to consistently alter the course of the war. The Tomahawk, on the other hand, has that capability, and that's exactly what makes Moscow nervous.
Be put into standby. Ideal moment to strike.